So I'm sitting here looking at this dove heart that one of my daughter's students, or two of my daughter's dance students gave my wife. She can't eat milk chocolate, but it's sitting here still wrapped, and it's so hard because I'm on a mini diet. It's so hard not to just dive into that and start eating every piece. I might do that anyways. This is an unboxing episode, except I'm unchocolating.
Very nice.
Oh, it's already open. Fantastic. No, it's not open. It's just the lid was not plasticized. So what are we going to talk about today, John?
I don't know, Nick. We never know.
I know we never know, but you never know. We might know.
You never, know.
Those things we don't know. Right.
No.
John, do you want one of these?
I have a bag full of M&Ms.
It says live in the moment.
And that's not code, by the way.
Do you? I love M&Ms. Are you as tired this morning as I am?
I'm a little sleepy this morning. Yes. Does it sound like it?
Yes. Well, this chocolate is very good.
It's Dove chocolate. Is that what it is?
It is Dove chocolate, but it didn't quite hit the spot. Maybe I'm getting too spoiled eating nothing but dark chocolate.
I go back and forth between milk chocolate and dark chocolate.
I do too sometimes, but I haven't. It's been a long time since I've had a real milk chocolate anything, and it just wasn't quite as satisfying. Satisfying is the right word because it's good. It's just not satisfying.
I will say that the Dove chocolate is way better than their soap.
Yeah, I would say the soap is just a little bit salty.
Salty and soap. Maybe if you didn't swear so much, bitter. You wouldn't have it, the taste in your mouth. And there we go.
That one was just for Eric again.
I know.
We're doing the whole podcast just for Eric.
And
the whole fucking podcast.
He
just
has
for
a
Eric.
naughty mouth.
He does have a naughty mouth.
I like to say that was
probably because he was raised in Minnesota.
Eric, you have a naughty mouth. You have to say it like that.
No, you know what he has? He has a potty mouth.
He does have a naughty potty mouth.
Not pod D, pot
with
T,
T's, not D's,
folks.
Yeah,
right. Not double D's.
He most certainly does not have that.
That's how you spell our name, with 2 D's, double D's.
I'm sure that's just an accident.
It is just an accident, but we could call our fan cult that the double D's.
Yeah,
I don't think
there are
that
some
works.
that would like that and some that wouldn't.
Yes, I would say it's about a 50-50 split, according to the analytics.
Well, it is in perfection. Double D's are about a 50-50 split, but in reality, they're usually not.
Oh, geez.
Usually it's 49-51.
Wow. I thought my comment was
or 55-45.
Exactly.
Usually.
So I was sitting in the backyard this morning with my wife, and we were having our morning cup of coffee that we usually do on a Saturday morning, and we were listening to all of the nature, and all of the cicada that are out right now. And my wife actually said to me earlier this summer, she said, I think it's about the year the cicada are supposed to come back out. And I don't know if you've experienced, because I've never experienced it living up north. I know they're up there. I don't remember actually ever experiencing it. But have you ever experienced the cicadas that have come out in the South at any point in your career or life?
I believe I have. I just can't point to an actual time of that.
Okay. They are deafening.
Very
the sound
loud,
that they
yes.
make and the swarms. Oh, it's incredible. We have cicada that are out right now, and it's fairly loud, but it's nowhere near the levels. So I looked it up because my wife asked me if it was the year they were supposed to come out, and it's not. We still have probably 2 or 3 more years before the 13-year cicadas come out, or quite a few more if we have to wait for the 17-year cicadas, and we don't know which ones we have. But it's amazing how just noisy they are. And I was explaining to her, and you can appreciate this coming from where you live now and where you grew up, just as I did. In the winter, here in Nashville, we still get birds. There's still a few bugs that are out, so you still have sound when you walk outside, no matter day or night, right? In Minnesota, when I was growing up, I would go up to my dad's farm, which is about 90 miles north of Minneapolis. and it'd be in the middle of winter. You walk outside 6, 7 o'clock at night when the sun's down, and it's pure silence.
That's true.
And it's so eerie.
Well, especially when you're
I haven't experienced that
in a rural location like that. I mean, even in smaller towns, and we're 2 miles from the interstate as the crow flies, so you don't really hear any traffic, but we still do on some of the country roads and so on. But you're absolutely right. When it is cold like that in the dead of winter, it is absolutely silent, and it's not a bad thing. It's kind of refreshing, actually.
I would say so. During the day, it's great. At night, when there's no one, no lights, no nothing, and you walk outside, it's eerie, especially when you're a kid.
Oh, well, I'm not a kid. Oh, no, you're just setting it up. And you watched a scary movie, and you just ate pickles with chocolate on them.
Well, how did you know? Not chocolate. I used to put hot cocoa dust on pickles.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I used to do that. I used to make sandwiches with pickles and hot cocoa dust. Those were my two favorite things growing up. They do not go well together. I think it was a dare, but I have done it.
It was a dare from whom?
I don't remember.
Oh my
I was a kid. In the middle of winter at night. It was scary.
Well,
just watched
we watched
a scary movie, John.
We ate pickles with chocolate dust on them. And yeah, no wonder. Oh, that's...
No, I didn't watch a scary movie just before that. It was always, my dad would bring me home at the end of the day because he had weekends. So I would go visit him, and then we'd pack up the car and head back to where my mom lived. And I would just remember walking out of the house just being freaked out because it was just so dead quiet. That's all.
Yeah.
No, we wouldn't watch scary movies. We'd watch things like Star Trek or Bruce Lee movies. That's what my dad was into when I was younger.
Bruce Lee movies. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. Love Bruce Lee.
I do too. Or did.
Yeah, I haven't seen a Bruce Lee movie in I don't know how long.
No, I saw a really good quote. A really good quote from him, or something that he had written or whatever. And it said, I would rather... Oh, gosh. Now I'm going to have to... I got to look it up because it's one that is a very nice play on, not really on words. It's more on interpretation, I guess. Let me just see. Bruce Lee Gardener quote. Okay, here it is. I'm sure here it is. No, it's not that. And there's my dog.
Hi, Indy.
There we go. It's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war.
Nice.
Love that.
That's awesome.
Really love that.
So there was another...
So be prepared.
Be prepared. There was another movie that we used to watch they were 80s, and I'm trying to find it. Maybe you would know, because you used to watch Kung Fu movies when you were younger, right? In the 80s?
Oh, some. I didn't watch that many.
So there was a movie, and I think it was an American movie, that the main character was in an accident or something and had to have complete reconstructive surgery. And he was in the military, and because of that, he learned Kung Fu. I mean, it's a really bad movie, but it was a movie that I loved.
As you describe it really sounds wonderful.
I know. Some days I just love my brain.
It was like he's like in the movie, and he was damaged, and they completely rebuilt him.
Well, that was the beginning of the movie,
and yeah, of course it was, because the rest of the movie is going to stem from such an awesome plot.
Well, he had a sensei, a master in the movie, and that guy was he was the stereotypical movie Chinese person with the accent and the look and the mustache and all of that stuff. And but the funny thing was, he had great one-liners, and that was probably what made the whole movie for me. Is just this guy it wasn't the action, it wasn't anything. It was like Reno Williams or something like that. Remo Williams. It was Remo Williams.
I do recall that name. Yes. Now, are you looking it up?
Yeah. A New York cop who wakes up from a mysterious accident with a new identity finds himself in the employ.
Isn't it like Charles Bronson? Somebody?
Fred Ward, Joel Gray.
Oh, Fred Ward.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And
Got it.
Wilford Brimley was in it. Wow.
Oh, I love him.
He's funny.
Loved.
Loved.
Oh,
No, he's
well,
still
he
alive, I
had the.
think. Isn't he not?
Is he?
I think so.
I
Hold
don't
on. I'm going
know.
to look it up. Yep. Still alive. He's 84 years old.
He has one of the most prodigious mustaches in all of acting.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Probably Wilford and Sam Elliott have the two best.
Oh yeah, Sam Elliott.
mustaches.
Have you ever looked up Sam Elliott without his mustache?
Yeah, I've seen pictures.
He's been in a movie without his mustache. It's like no, you need to grow that mustache back. Once you've grown, it's kind of like Tom Selleck without a mustache.
Yes.
Talk about prodigious mustaches.
Yes, that's true. Well, I'm not sure his is prodigious as it was part of his persona. I mean,
absolutely.
He always had the 70s or 80s porn star look going on.
Right. Well, I mean, he was in the 80s and he was an actor.
Yeah, exactly.
Most of them had that.
But because he still has it today, I don't know. It's interesting, but he's really made it work for him. I like Tom Selleck, and
I love Tom Selleck.
He has a great voiceover voice.
Yes.
And I don't know how he has cultivated that so well, but he really has. And of course now he's doing reverse mortgage commercials, but he's great on Blue Bloods, and he just has a nice persona. Although you look at the actors on Blue Bloods, have you seen that show?
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're fantastic. All of them are fantastic actors.
All supposed to be related. And they don't.
Yeah, I know.
Nobody looks
they
like
don't look at
any of the rest.
No, they don't. They really don't.
No,
it's really funny.
No, it is.
But I'm hoping, because Tom Selleck is still actively employed and actively working. I mean, he's not that old, but he's older than you would actually think he is, because I looked him up once, and when he was doing Magnum, he was already in his 40s, and I thought that was amazing.
Yeah.
So, I've been hoping that the new Magnum PI, because they remade Magnum PI, and it's a new guy. And
I saw that.
It's actually it's pretty good. It's not horrible. I was not excited about it, because I was a huge fan of Magnum PI. In fact, my ring on my phone, if I ever have my ring on, is the Magnum PI theme. I loved Magnum PI growing up. Oh, I was Magnum PI, Airwolf, MacGyver. Those are my shows. That was my jam. But I'm hoping. I was always hoping that maybe Tom Selleck would return for an episode or two and play like Magnum's dad or something like that. I think that would be incredible.
I think so too.
Another actor from the 80s, still very active today, with a prodigious mustache back in the 80s. Now he's pretty much has a goatee. But Gerald McRaney from Simon and Simon. You remember that show? He used to drive this great old Dodge truck.
Oh my gosh, I do remember the show. It was a detective show, right?
Yep. And I guess the most recent thing did you ever watch? What is that show set in Wyoming? They had like 3 seasons on regular TV, and then Netflix picked them up for another. I can see the face of the sheriff, he's actually Australian in real life.
I don't know.
Oh, what is that show? We're having a great time remembering things today, aren't we?
So far, but your memory seems to be failing us now. Fortunately, there's Google.
Yeah, I know. My brain.
I see.
Well, I'm IMDbing right now.
I see Gerald McRaney's picture, and I know exactly who he is now. And I see the image from Simon and Simon with the hat on. So you and I have a different definition.
Oh, he was in the A-Team.
We have a different definition of prodigious, though.
Well, okay.
Prodigious to me is one that is so it's a bountiful mustache. I mean, it's.
Yes, I can see how you would want the bountiful, but I use it more as it's prodigious, because that makes the person with it stand out a bit more, because it's part of their
persona. Yeah, I would agree. And I would agree, and I would look at him and I would say he's definitely a guy like that. Yes, I agree.
And the TV show that I was looking for was
Major Dad,
list. Where is
Jericho, Promised Land, Deadwood.
Longmire.
Dang it. I was so close.
I didn't know he was in Deadwood, though. I'm going to have to... Is that the movie?
Yeah.
Yep, that's the Deadwood movie. I haven't watched the movie yet. I'm still actually watching the past seasons of Deadwood on HBO.
And I've watched most of them. It's just, man, they're made for Eric.
They really are. Yeah. Eric, I hope if you're listening, I hope you've actually caught up on all of the seasons of Deadwood. And they're not a sponsor.
No, they're not. They should be. I don't
should
think they're
be
making them anymore, but it would be the studio, of course.
No, that's why they made the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
They did with that movie or with that television show what they did with the TV show. What was the TV show called? The movie was called Serenity, but the TV show is. Have you seen that? It's a sci-fi. You're not a big sci-fi person, are you?
I'm not a sci-fi guy. No, sorry. I'm just not. And it did link to him, Gerald McRaney, in Deadwood, the series.
Yeah, I saw that.
So
yeah.
So anyway, I don't know who he played, but I love some of the. Who's the Powers Booth was in Tombstone with a prodigious mustache and actually a soul patch.
Firefly, that's the name of the TV show. With a soul patch. Yes. But so I'm curious to know, do you think that soul patch was real? Or do you think he just they added it in makeup for the show? Because that would...
I don't know.
That look would probably not be great outside of that show, and it would be really hard to grow all of that back every season.
Well, who's the guy?
We'd have to... I guess we should look up pictures.
I think he's... I mean, he's always had... before he died, always had good facial hair.
Okay, hold on. Start that.
That's what I was saying.
Start that again, just in case. You might have saved it, but all I heard was...
No, you talked about sci-fi movies, and I decided to do some sort of...
All right, then we don't have to cut it out.
Sort of robot, an alien robot. Before Powers Booth died, he had pretty good facial hair growth, so I would assume that it was his, but who knows?
You never know. You never know.
You just don't.
I'm sorry for any of those people that have misophonia. I'm eating a piece of chocolate.
Oh, come on. It's a good thing this is not on Smell-O-Vision, because we would be smelling chocolate.
Right? That would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be
That'd be very Wonka
of
us.
Cicadas, you talked about. What's the plural of cicada?
I guess I'm saying it wrong because I was saying cicadas. What is it, John?
It's cicadas or cicadae. Cicadae.
Is that kind of like Sade?
I don't think so.
You know who Sade is, right?
Yes, it's spelled S-A-D-E.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sometimes I just spell it S-A-D.
Yeah, that's the mood she puts you in. But
no, she had a good voice.
She did have a good voice.
You got to give her credit.
No, I do.
She had a very nice voice.
I worked in a store with one person. It wasn't just one person, but every time I worked with this particular person, she would go in and put Sade on, and it would play the entire shift. So it was 8 hours a day, 3 times a week. This was in college, so it was a part-time job. And I had my fill of Sade.
And she of you, I would think.
Probably, yeah, absolutely.
It reminds me of 40-Year-Old Virgin, where they are playing the Michael McDonald soundtrack for all the time.
Yeah.
You know, Yamo kick your ass or whatever it was.
That's funny. That's funny.
A pretty funny situation.
Yeah.
What else you got?
So,
Cicada Boy.
That's it. Let's end the program. No.
Some people would be delighted. You know that.
Probably. This is kind of a very subdued PoddiMouths episode after the last couple that we've had. I mean, we had a lot of fun with Steven last week. It was a blast.
Can I also say we obviously did. Steven is, well, because we know him so well, and it's just comfortable with guys like him. But I am being approached by a lot of people about having them as guests, and so the interviewing has been going over well, having guests on the show. So we should do that.
Yeah,
We
it
have
is. It has
several that have talked to me and said, "Hey, I'd love to be a guest on PoddiMouths."
Yeah, and I would love to have them. And you and I have been
Yeah.
talking about that. That is the plan
Yep.
moving forward. Is we're going to start
Yeah.
trying to weave a lot more interviews into our podcasts. That being said, it's right now for us, it's just kind of a scheduling thing. Jon and I have had the opportunity now. We've been together. We're not together today. He's back in Madison. I'm in Nashville.
Not
But
sexually, just together.
Not sexually, right?
Right. Okay.
But we have had the opportunity a number of times to do more episodes while we're together. And one thing or another has caused us not to. And the last time it was, I looked at Jon, said, "Do you want to do PoddiMouths or you want to have dinner?" And he looked at me and said, "Let's go have dinner." and then we were like, "Let's just not do one today. Let's do it over the weekend." So that's kind of how it's been. It was the last couple of weeks, and Jon and I again have talked about this. The last couple of weeks have just been incredibly busy for both of us.
Well,
and,
especially with
not complaining. I love being busy, but
especially with our newfound axe throwing prowess.
Right. Oh, I mean, we need to start posting some of those photos. I'm waiting for you to send me mine. I was pretty impressed.
Did send you yours.
So Jon and I have never thrown. No, I never got the video.
Oh, I must not have come through. I may have to post it. I may have to put it up on Facebook or something. We'll figure that out. Let's take that offline.
We'll
Don't you love
out.
that
Anyway,
in meetings? Let's take that offline.
Take that offline. Yeah, and no one ever gets back to it. Have you noticed that? Yes. I've been. Let's take that offline, and then we never hear about it again. That's just a nice way of saying screw you.
Yeah, we're not doing talking about this anymore. That's funny.
I love it.
There are so many things like that, little like corporate meeting things that we should have a show about that sometime, because they're just little things. I'll ping you. Like you know what?
Yeah.
What's the ping? I'm not pinging you. Do you want an email?
It doesn't. I don't hear a sound anymore.
Exactly.
I think where that comes from is that's what the sound sounded like when people actually left their sound on their phones or on their computers.
Seriously?
When you ping someone, because it's just a ping.
Yeah, I know.
But we don't do that anymore. I have my computer muted on both my computers because I carry two laptops. I carry my personal one or my PoddiMouths one, and I carry my work laptop, and I have them both muted. So if I was sitting in front of it, I'll see things that pop up, but you're never going to hear a sound come from my computer.
So we'll get back to you on this. I tell you what, I will you later.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's silent.
I'll pop up on you later.
Oh, no, don't say that, because that's different too. I'll pop up on you. No. Yeah, so I tell you what, Bob, I will you later, and
exactly. Exactly.
Sound effects.
So what else? What other little colloquial? I see that's a word I can't say. Colloquialisms.
Colloquialism.
It doesn't matter. You could say it perfectly. I can hear it in my brain. It just does not come out of my mouth. It was close enough.
Neither
you knew
does
what I meant.
Chocolate come out of your mouth.
It goes right in my mouth and into my gut.
I know it's in your gut. Yes.
Yes.
What other colloquialisms?
Yes. You say that word. I'm going to stay away from it.
I will. Just, hey, why don't you do this when you want me to say that word? Just go. And then
there you go. I will. Jon, I'll
know.
You.
Now that sounds weird too.
It doesn't matter what comes out of my mouth. It's always going to sound weird.
True. It was a very nice pop, but Jon, I'll pop you, or Jon, I'll. It was almost like
Jon, I'll pop you later.
Jon, I'll bleep you. Bleep.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't want either of those colloquialisms. So it seems like for me, colloquialisms should have a better plural, like colloquializa or something
or colloquially,
You
something
actually
like that.
gargled that a little bit, but it wasn't bad.
Thanks. I'm trying. I'll work on it.
And what
That'll
I
be.
meant to say
I think
gargled,
I
not
mentioned in one
garbled.
other episode my mom's biggest struggle was the word arterial. She could not get that
Oh,
out
yeah,
of her
and
mouth.
she was a arterial nurse, right? Or
She wasn't a
a
nurse. She was an ultrasound tech, X-ray tech, and CT scan tech.
but for,
So,
like, cardia
yep,
for,
she did
like, cardia
cardiac. Yeah, she did cardiac scans. Absolutely.
she
And
had
she
a
was
client.
supposed to use that word regularly, and she couldn't say it.
It's the A word.
The A word. Yeah. Arterial. Yeah.
That's
So my
funny.
word is colloquialisms. That's the word I can't get out of my mouth.
So if you spell it or write it in front of you, can you sound it
Nope.
out better?
Nope.
Okay.
Because like I said, I can see it in my brain. I can see the word. I can hear it in my brain, how you're supposed to say it. It just does not come out of my mouth the way it's supposed to come out of my
It's
mouth.
just unusual with you because you truly are very well spoken. And
Oh, there you go with the compliments. Would you stop? Stop with the compliments, John. I don't need
hardly
compliments.
ever give you compliments.
You give me compliments every time we talk.
Well,
and I don't
because
give you nearly enough that you deserve.
do I say like you're very handsome today? Like
No,
that?
because that would just be weird.
It would be. Although it's
That would be
a little
very
weird that
weird.
you're in my hotel room looking at the money on my bed.
That is true. That is true. But the last PoddiMouths that we were going to do that we didn't, I was going to invite you to my room. Mainly,
And
folks,
now we're
because
bordering on the weird. That's even better.
yeah, mainly, folks,
don't you come
because
to
at
my
our
room?
last hotel, at the last hotel that we stayed in, I actually got the suite and John didn't.
Okay. So we need to do that. We need to argue about that, whose room, but we need to do it at the bar at the hotel. Well, let's go to my room. Let's go to my room.
We never stay at a hotel that has a bar, though, because we're staying in Richmond, Kentucky.
That's true. Although we were in Nashville.
We were in Nashville. That's true. But I wasn't staying at that hotel.
Oh, that's right. I forget. Well, I was. You can come to my bar, and you didn't have a room either.
And it was a very nice bar.
It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool and really good service there. And yeah, that was nice. That's the 21C, as in Charlie, 21C Hotel and Resort or something like that.
And museum.
And it was.
It's very nice. And they are not a sponsor.
No, they're not. They should be.
Even though John was sponsoring the maids.
I was just tipping the maids because they deserved it. But
that's right. So more of that the C word.
One more thing.
More of the
one
C
more
word
thing on
offices.
the C. One more thing.
Okay.
All right. On the 21C was I wrote a review of the hotel, and it was a nice one. They did a really good job, and I really did love they had art you could sort of interact with, in particular, 3-foot tall penguins. And the penguins, you saw them even though you weren't staying there. We moved them all over the hotel. So somebody opened the hotel room door, their room door, one morning, and there were 4 or 5 penguins.
Nice.
Staring at them.
I thought that was the staff doing that. That was you guys?
I think it was us. And they were fine with it, but the staff would
kind of makes it funnier.
It was pretty darn hilarious. Anyway, so I wrote a nice review, and the one of the guest managers wrote back and just thanked me, wrote a nice email, and it was just very kind and personal. It was not a form email. Yeah, pretty nice.
A canned.
Yeah,
that's very nice. It's it's kind of like some of our dealers that need to learn how to do that, right?
Yes, our clients.
Did I say that out loud? Did that come out of my mouth? Man, sometimes I should really, stop and think about what I'm already thinking before it comes out of my mouth.
That came out of your mouth a lot more smoothly than colloquialism.
It did. It really did. Yeah. Wow.
I know.
So anyway, back to the C word. My one of my biggest ones, it grates on me. It's kind of like, I know this isn't business, this first part, the difference between recording something
taping.
or filming
or
something.
Taping.
Yeah, taping or filming. It's we don't even use tape anymore. But anyway, that's not the one I was going for. This is the one I'm going for. Put that deck up. What's a deck? It's a PowerPoint presentation or it's a slides presentation. It's not a deck. Where the hell did deck come from?
That's a really
Don't
good
be a
question.
deck.
Put that deck up. So it has to be like a deck of cards.
But it's not. Well, I mean, I guess it is technically because each PowerPoint slide could be a card, I guess.
I know, right?
But
That's one
still,
of my
it's
favorites
a slide or
Yes,
it's.
I know, right?
I know, right?
I know,
That one
right?
I know, right? I do. I use that though. I like that. For some reason,
I know, right?
I know, right?
But you can pull it off. There are some people who overuse it. In fact, I have a Facebook friend.
Like literally?
Yes. I have a Facebook friend, like literally. I have a Facebook friend who does IKR. And I'm like, what the hell is that? Oh, I know, right?
Okay, that's taking it a little bit too far for me.
Yes, that was over the top. But whatever. There are way worse things.
When I ask that question, I am literally asking. See, I like how I use that. I am literally asking. I'm saying, I know, and then I'm asking, right? I'm using it because I am actually trying to engage. If I didn't want that engagement, I would just say, I know. Literally, I know. That's literally what I would literally say. Literally.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that is the literally thing is just, yeah. I will literally poke my eyes out if all right, we'll get started. And
yep.
I'm not sure.
Go ahead.
Literal.
Yeah. I don't think you quite understand what that word means. I know, right?
See, I'm not going to even pick up on it heretofore.
Wow. Is that yours now? Heretofore?
I should do that every time someone says,
you should.
I know, right? I'll just heretofore.
I know, right?
Heard that. Wow.
That's good. I like it. All right.
Yeah, that's really good.
Deck.
Yes.
PowerPoint deck, PowerPoint presentation. It is a presentation. It's a series of slides with information on it. Where the hell did deck come from? And why the hell is it annoying me? But it annoys me when I hear the term deck. Send me that deck. I'll send you the presentation.
Well, the presentation is actually the outcome of the deck.
But where did deck come from? Because the presentation is the culmination of a number of slides.
It's literally a deck of cards.
It's not a deck of slides.
It kind of is. It's a digital terminology that would equate with a deck of literally cards.
You're literally pissing me off.
I know, right?
Heretofore. Anyway, that's what she said.
Whoa, and that makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Usually.
I don't think it's overused anymore.
Unless it's not what she says or would say. Yeah, I parked my tractor out back. That's what she said. I'm not sure how that.
Well, you could take that a number of different ways. You use that term to get people's minds to go a different direction than what you actually intended it to go. I parked my tractor out back. That's what she said.
Double entendre.
Literally.
It's where there are multiple meanings to a phrase.
That's what she said.
Oh, jeez. Well, at least we have your script down for the rest of the show.
That's right. Absolutely.
I know, right?
So that's one I do a lot that drives me nuts. I can't. I guess I haven't worked hard enough to stop it, but I say absolutely a lot.
You say absentively.
Absolutely. Oh, absentively is a good one. Maybe that's how I'll change it.
You
that I believe though comes from. I could, yeah. No, I don't. I don't say absentively. I've never said that. Yeah. I do not. Absolutely is my word.
You absentively say that.
And I do not.
The combination of absolutely and positively.
I have never said that a day in my life except when you have said it and I've repeated it because I'm a parrot.
You are not.
What the fuck was that?
That was my parrot impression.
I wasn't. That sounded more like a chicken.
Oh, come on. My friend Matt's stepdaughter is so funny. She's she just graduated from high school, and she's actually delightful. But she has a really funny bird sound. And so she'll just out of the blue do a caw. It's hilarious. And so I have done that myself for some time occasionally just to see what people do. And yeah, so she's of the same mindset.
That's hilarious.
Awesome.
So
Yeah, it's really
what I usually do when there's dead silence and there's something where a bird call would fit because it would
besides
just kind of
passing
throw
gas,
everyone off guard.
you
Right.
use a
Besides passing gas, I just, I look, that's good.
thank
That's
you.
really good.
Yeah.
I just stop in the silence and say, Abraham Lincoln.
Why do you do that?
And everyone just looks at you really funny. I said, whenever there's a moment of silence, there's someone in the room thinking of Abraham Lincoln.
Well, you.
Now when it's quiet, everyone thinks of Abraham Lincoln, and you don't know how many times I get someone that has experienced that will stop and say, Abraham fucking Lincoln.
Wow, I didn't know he had a middle name.
He did, fucking.
Apparently.
Abraham F. Lincoln.
Wow.
I don't think that's why they say that, John. Just a
Might
clarification.
for that reason.
It's not quite a colloquialism. Colloquialism. See, I can't do it. Still can't do
Dang
it.
it.
I'll practice, everybody. I'll practice. I promise.
Good.
I'm just going to keep saying it because I know people are going to laugh at me. And I don't mind it when people
Nick,
laugh
they're
at
laughing
me.
with you.
No, they're laughing at me. If they're laughing with me, there's something wrong. It means I've done something right.
Wrong with them.
That never happens. Exactly.
That's terrific.
That's what she said.
Oh, cut it out. Jeez. Man, yes, this is the only podcast I haven't listened to because I hate all the colloquialisms.
You're just showing off
Yes,
now
I
because
know.
you can say the word.
That's how I roll.
I know. Okay. Any others though? Speaking of that funky word, that's how I'm going to refer to it from now on.
Do it.
You know that funky word, like the funky Comedina. So, any others that you have? I gave you a couple of mine.
I'm sure there are. I mean, I gave you some of mine too. So there.
But this is not a one-sided conversation, John, and I feel that as though it is one-sided right now.
Leader.
I'm not the leader. I'm a follower. I told you that.
No, you said you're a parrot. That's different.
Oh, how is that different from being a follower?
Well, parrots actually.
Let's dig into that.
You're thinking of myna birds.
Mine. I don't know if there are any birds in Minot. The wind blows pretty heavily up there.
Minot. You should actually say that. I'm just actually Minotting you. I'm Minotting you.
No, that doesn't work. So for those who are listening who have no idea who or where or what Minot is, it's a city, a small town city / thing with a military base in North Dakota near the Canadian border, and it's quite windy up there.
And gray.
It's a neat little town, though, and very gray. It is very gray.
Gray all year round.
It is. That's where my stepbrother went to college and got his pilot's license. So he's actually very good at flying in and out of the Minot airport.
That's awesome.
We used to fly from Minneapolis. Keep talking. We used to fly from Minneapolis into Minot just before we crossed the border. That was kind of our pit stop before we would fly up into Saskatchewan and then have to do customs. And then on the way back from Canada, we would stop in Minot and do customs there because they were one of the few airports just over the border that actually has small airports that has a customs office. Did I lose John? Did you answer your phone, John? He's on the other line. He's talking to his wife. I'm going to say he's talking to his wife. His wife went shopping and they're talking about buying paint for one of their walls maybe, or a new couch or something like that. And he's trying to talk her out of it, I'm sure. Oh, no, you know what it is? She went Harley shopping. She's going out to buy herself her own Harley so they can go riding the rest of the summer. I think that's what's happening. And she's like, I really like this one over here, but I know you told me to buy this one, but I'm really going to go buy this one because it's, a lot more expensive. And I just, I want to feel more comfortable and show you up because my Harley is going to be nicer than yours. I think that's what he's saying. So my wife just sent me an email. She forwarded it to me from, where did she? Fairdrop.com. And it's, again, they're not sponsoring. It's A couple from Nashville, Kara and Nate, who travel around the world. They've been traveling around the world for several years now, and they have a new app. Well, it's kind of an email system where they'll actually send you messages when a fare has dropped. So, for example, the email that Jennifer just got, Jennifer's my wife, said Nashville round trips to Guatemala City dropped to $290 for some dates in October. These are the lowest fares we've seen in 126 days, much lower than the average $700. So if you all want to fly to Guatemala City, now would be a good time to try to book a ticket. I don't know
That's
why
what
you'd
she
want to go to
said.
Guatemala. Yeah, right. Don't know why you'd want to go to Guatemala City, but there you go.
It is hot there.
It is hot, and we're talking temperature. We're not talking about just the nightlife.
I'm sure the nightlife is wonderful in Guatemala City. It's
Maybe,
very poor,
maybe.
and yeah.
So John, where did you go? Because I was talking about how your wife probably called to talk about new paint colors on the wall, or then I went and said
Yes, it was an emergency
like that, or I thought maybe she was out buying herself her own Harley, and you had recommended one to her, and she said I don't want to buy that one because I want the more expensive one over there because it'll show you up in your Harley. So which one's true?
This is why I can't ever leave you. I can never leave you alone. Which of those
you can never leave me alone.
You can never leave me. I'll fight you.
I'll never leave you, John. All right. Anywho, so which was it? What was it, John? Was it the Harley or the paint?
Looking for neither. I'm looking for a picture of the thing that I was doing to see if I can send it to you, but I don't think I have it here. I actually have a smoker, and I think you and I have talked about the smoker before, and
the smoker is not his wife. His wife does not smoke.
She is smoking. She's smoking hot though.
There you go.
And it's called I can't think what it's called, a Smoky Q or something like that. And that's my last name begins with a Q. So I thought, well, I obviously need a smoker.
Yep.
And that's apparently how they sold it. Not cheap, but it's electric and it's amazing. And it does such wonderful things. So I was actually checking out my smoker.
Nice. Okay, well, now I know what I'm getting you for Christmas.
Wood chips?
No, I'm going to get you they actually have a tool that you can put inside your smoker that has an app on your phone that you can monitor, so you never have to leave my your PoddiMouth partner in the lurch again to check your smoker.
Actually, yeah, it's the whole spraying it down. Yep, you have to do that, and your app does not do that.
No. I bet you it does. Or if it doesn't, we'll invent it. We'll make millions, and we'll be able to potty mouth every day.
Because that's what we'll do. Remember when we were poor before we invented the potty spritzer?
The potty spritzer. I don't know if we should name it the potty spritzer.
We'd remember the name.
We would definitely remember the name.
Time to spritz. And so that's how we do it.
That's how we do it. I'll put a deck together, and we'll ping you later and see what.
I wish you would.
What works?
That would be terrific. I actually, by the way, already have the meat thermometer with the app connection. So sorry. So don't wait.
Fine. I won't get you anything for Christmas.
Well, you can get me some wood chips, or this is called Easy BBQ. Easy Barbecue is my app.
Easy BBQ. Yeah. Interesting. That reminds me, I'm going to have to go out and get more propane for my grill because I ran out on July 2nd.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah. No. So I ended up using I think people get a kick out of this. I grabbed my camp stove and put a grate over the camp stove and used that to grill out on July 4th.
That's excellent.
I could have gone to get more propane, but when it ran out, the day it ran out, I had a beer or two and I didn't want to drive. And then I forgot to do it on July 4th. And I wasn't about to go to the store on July 4th.
Well, it's better than building a fire in your backyard. I decided to
Right,
grill over.
exactly. Well, we were gonna do that too, but it was just
Oh,
too
yeah.
frickin' hot.
Yeah. Hot and buggy,
Yeah.
probably.
So,
Well, that's all. That was a good
anywho,
hot and
hot and
buggy
buggy or hot
morning.
and
It
muggy,
probably was, you're probably famous in the neighborhood now.
both.
Fam famouser.
Oh, I am famous. I'm just famous, period.
I
Just like my daughter.
Peyton,
You remember that from the episode?
yes.
You know, John, I'm famous.
And she is.
Yes, she is. Speaking of, I think we've bored our listeners quite enough this week.
We would
Maybe
have
not,
stopped
but
a lot sooner if that were the case, if we stopped every time
that is
we bored
true.
our
That
listeners.
is true. But Peyton is just now getting home from a sleepover, so I'm going to go and hang out with her for a little while. What are you doing the rest of the day?
How nice. I'm actually gonna get out my camp stove and make some eggs on it.
Oh, that sounds really good.
I'm lying.
Might go do that too after I have some more chocolate.
You should grill the chocolate.
I'm going to make chocolate eggs
That
and put pickles in there.
that sounds good with dusting, pot dusting.
Yeah. So before we go, though,
Yes.
and before we run through all of our social media
Yeah.
accounts, I think I told the story a week or two ago about my adventure trying to get hot chicken for some of my coworkers,
Yes.
and one place had burned down, stuff like. So it has been a personal mission of mine now to actually go and have hot chicken since then, and I have not been able to find any hot chicken. For some reason, there's just, it must be that time of year. It's just never around or it's never available. I've ordered it and they've said they've been out, just like the story. So I finally had hot chicken last night. And one, it was not the best hot
Oh,
chicken in the entire
no.
world, but I finally did have it. I just wanted to let Chris know, because he was that's trying to spearhead this
Yes,
hot
you
chicken adventure, that I did finally have hot chicken, and it was very disappointing. And it was probably because he wasn't around.
So wouldn't that have been the definition when we were throwing axes? Remember that we had the meal in the back? That was hot chicken.
Yeah, that was technically hot chicken, except hot chicken is usually wet sauce, and that was a
It
dry
was a dry
sauce.
sauce, yeah.
So while it was spicy, it was not real hot chicken. And it didn't have any pickles either. You're supposed to have pickles with your hot chicken.
Then that would be
Sweet
hot
pickles.
chicken pickles. It wouldn't be hot chicken. Sorry.
What? I'm lost.
I was just pinging you.
Okay, I'll put a deck together and send it.
Oh,
Anyway, if anyone would like to put a deck together and ping us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, please do so. Instagram is at PoddiMouths. Twitter is at MouthsPoddy. Facebook is facebook.com/PoddiMouths. And you can also support us if you want to, try to get us off the air or off the internet by giving us money on Patreon. Just head up there and donate monthly if you'd like, or even donate once, whatever you'd like. It's just fine. We want to keep this going. We want to improve, and we want to start interviewing more people, including maybe you, if you are so inclined. That might be a good idea.
Yep.
That might be a level. If you start donating a certain X number a month, maybe we interview you on a very special episode. That would be something.
That's a good
kind of
idea,
fun, John. We'll think about that.
We always promise
think about
to think
that.
about things, don't we? And then
Anyway,
we don't really think. Seldom.
We do. No, well, and we promise that we're going to post a lot on Eat Drink Road as well, eat.drink.road. But I've been slacking still. We need to come up with some more tips and tricks to head up there. People have been sending us stuff, and I just haven't gotten my act together to put it up there. I will one of these days in the not so near future, but it will get up there. I promise you.
And we will post. I will send you, by the way, some of your axe throwing prowess pictures.
Axe throwing. Actually, that'll be the next thing.
We need
to
talk about that, because that was fun. That would be a fun thing to discuss.
That was a lot of fun.
One of the best, if not the best thrower.
Well, thank you, John. And again, going with the compliments, I was not the best thrower by far. There were a lot of other people, including my former boss and your current boss, who beat me on a 1-to-1 head-to-head in the championship.
But you threw in a more manly way. Sorry, Dennis. It's true. you threw harder.
Oh, Dennis, I hope you're listening to this episode. I know he listens to one or two here and there. He doesn't listen to all of them, but this one is definitely one he'll need to listen to.
He was wearing his Bama shirt, and
that was his first mistake.
I didn't say that, Dennis. If you, well, I'm gonna have to fire one of them. I honestly just pick one. Um, but he threw very precisely, but not hard. So his didn't stick as well as yours. Although he did have good aim, I will grant you that. And his team,
He did have very good aim.
but we can't.
My problem is I threw too hard. I have that same problem in golf. So my best friend, who does actually listen to this, he used to crush me when we were kids playing golf. He couldn't hit the ball anywhere near how far I could hit it, probably half of the distance. He doesn't play like that anymore, but when we were kids. But the difference is mine would be off to the right or off to the left, and his would be straight down the middle every single time. So he would just dominate me on the golf course.
I played with a guy named Dick Ellis, and we did this for probably 2 or 3 months. Every Sunday morning, we would get up early and play golf, and there were 4 of us, and and he would hit it, I don't know, maybe 150 yards, and that was it. But his short game was great, putting was terrific, and he would regularly wax me.
Yep, that's what it takes. It's consistency. It's the same with everything we do. Everything needs consistency, even reputation management when
Wow,
you're responding to reviews.
Look at
Wow.
you, just kind of
I
bringing
know,
it
right?
all circularly.
Bringing it all full circle.
I know, right?
Oh, here for there. What is it?
Heretofore.
For here, there, here, heretofore. Heretofore. Sorry. So I failed law school. Anyway, I hope everyone has a fantastic week. I know we're recording it on the weekend, so we're going to go have a fantastic weekend, but I hope the rest of you have a fantastic week after this airs on Tuesday.
Please do.
John, it was a pleasure talking to you again, sir. It was a pleasure spending the last couple of weeks with you, too, in person.
There you go. Compliment.
I hope we get to do that again soon.
Yes, we definitely.
I'm doing my best.
Pal, it's always
I know, right?
With you, even on the weekend. Thanks, everybody, for suffering through our Saturday morning broadcast, which you hear on Tuesday.
That's right. Bye, everybody.
See you.